Alright guys, I got y'all another video. I'm working on this 91 Isuzu Trooper, and I got it with the cylinder head off sitting on the table over there. It had a burn up exhaust valve, and the other mechanic, as soon as he took the head off, and as soon as he saw that exhaust valve, he just said, screw it, I ain't messing with it. So this is actually my friend's dad. He called me up and said, hey man, I know you work on cars, can you come check this out for me? It's been sitting in my yard for 8 months and I want it fixed. So alright, I head over here and I look at it. I wrote him up a list of what he needs and got everything, but long story short, I got everything put back together, and I had trouble getting this harmonic balancer off the crank. This is the bolt that goes to the crank down there. It's a size 24. Fits pretty snug, no wiggle. So I was having trouble getting that bolt off that crank, and I went online, couldn't find hardly anything, and read some forums, and they say that this is the Japanese Isuzu, for some reason they torqued that dang bolt down between 300 to 400 foot-pounds of torque. That is crazy. I've worked at Honda dealerships, Chevy dealerships, and I've never seen anything torqued down that freaking high. I don't know why. So I put this thing back together. Of course, the timing belt's off, and there's nothing holding the engine from spinning over, so that's stuck on there. So I tried different things. I tried vice grips, I tried C-clamps, I try everything in the world. There's my C-clamp, ratchet straps, I tried everything. So I remember when I worked at the Chevy dealer, I remember somebody saying to use string. I take that back. Let's rewind. So on the forums that I was reading, they were saying to use a breaker bar with that socket to set it on there and crank the engine over and let the engine break loose the bolt. I'm like, for one, that's extremely dangerous, and I don't want to damage this thing any more than what it is. It's in pretty bad shape, but we're getting there. So back to where I was working at the dealership, and I remember somebody saying put string in the cylinder hole to prevent the engine from turning over. So I remember that last night. I was working on this yesterday, and last night when I was laying in bed, I just remembered string. So what I did was, this might help some people out. If you're having a hard time getting crank bolts off of pulleys, this will work on any vehicle, any make, year, model, whatever. What I'll do is, I've got it on top dead center right there. Do you see the little key right there? It's pointing up, and that's pointing up. So what I did was, I took cylinder 1, where spark plug out. There's a spark plug right there. And I went to Lowe's and I bought some Paraline. This is quarter some string. I got the paper right here, let me look. This is quarter. Got 100 foot of it just in case. I didn't know how much I needed. But what I did was, I grabbed the pulley still on there. I turned it clockwise to make the piston go down, and about halfway, or you can go all the way down, it don't matter. I just did halfway. I took that string and I fed it into the hole to fill the the cylinder with a string. It took about 3 foot, 2.5, 3 foot of string I stuck in there. Oh, that's plenty. So now I turned it counterclockwise to make the piston come back up, and that piston cannot compress string, obviously. So what it did is it compressed all that string up top, and it won't allow it to turn over. So then I took my breaker bar, my socket, stuck it on there with I got a floor jack. I just use my floor jack as a breaker bar. And I went to go pull on it, and the piston came up just a little bit, not much. It just compressed the string till it couldn't compress it anymore. And I just slowly pulled it, and it felt like with that cheater bar on that breaker bar way up here, it felt like it wasn't even tight. It felt like a knife through butter. It just easy. It was so easy to turn that off. I literally didn't even have to put any strength behind it, and it's off there. But I'm not going to torque it back down to what the specs say. I'm going to use my 1/2-inch air impact snap-on and just hammer down on it. It's rated at about 250 foot-pounds forward motion. Reverse motion, I think it's about 275, 300, but it wasn't enough to break that loose. So I had to use the string technique. But it's a lot safer than turning the engine over and having parts, sockets flying all over the place and potentially breaking a hose, a line, or whatever. So if you run into this problem, you're welcome. I hope it helps. I'm waiting on the owner to get here to unlock the door so I can put the belt on. He's got the book and everything. I just gotta put the belt on, put it all back together, and put oil in it. Hopefully it fires up. It's been sitting out here for a while, but anyways, hope this helps. See y'all later.